Hello to everybody out there in the Switcher Studio 101 group. Welcome to the first of hopefully many live broadcasts that we will be bringing to you, helping you all make better live video with Switcher Studio. I, of course, have over here, I'm going to point this way. Is that right? I did do it
Yeah,
right.
that works.
Over here is Angela. Say hi, Angela.
Hey everyone.
So yeah, we're hoping to do more of these. This, of course, is a learning group, and we're trying to help everybody out there make better video, do everything they can possibly do with Switcher Studio. So we are here to answer any questions you have. While those questions are coming in and people are joining the stream, we're gonna always give you guys a quick tip or hint or help setting something up with Switcher Studio. And then after that, we are happy to answer any and all questions related to Switcher Studio. I do believe we'll have some members of our team as well helping us answer those as well in the comments. So yes, if you do have questions, please add them to the comments here, and we will see those come through and we will answer those for you. I guess, we had Angela introduce herself over there. I don't know if I did, but I'm Dan. We're part of the support team at Switcher. Been around and doing this for a long time and are always happy to help you. So yes, let's go ahead and jump right in here, Angela. What do you say?
Yeah, sounds
We were
good.
discussing a bunch of topics for these live streams that we could help people do, and we figured one of the easy things to start out with, of course, is how do you set up and stream to Facebook, right?
Like the main thing people are looking for, a lot of people get started with Facebook even if they end up streaming to something else. So this is definitely where we want to start with you guys. Again, this is going to be kind of a quick, you know, 4 or 5 minute tutorial just to show you guys how to get started with Facebook. So what you're seeing right now is, the main Switcher Studio screen for your main switching device. Of course, we're using an iPad, which we do recommend because it's a lot bigger and easier to see. And this is the outputs tab. So this is the first thing you're going to see. You'll notice there is a blue plus sign next to outputs. So the first time you're linking to your Facebook account, you want to tap on that blue plus button, and that is going to open up a selection of a lot of different platforms. So from here, you'll see the logo for Facebook Live. We're going to go ahead and tap on that. And if you've never signed in, it's going to have you sign in to your Facebook account. So this is a question we do get. Your Facebook login, like the email address and password for it, can be different than your Switcher Studio login. It is for me, it is for a lot of people. So whenever you would log into the Facebook app or the Facebook website with is what you would do here. After that's done, you can see if you've
Yeah,
already
I've already
signed
I've
in.
already done it
Yeah,
just so I didn't have to type my password in while this is live.
yeah, that's good. We don't want to do that. But if you've already signed in and you hit that plus button, it's going to show you an option to unlink and relink. But after that, if you've already signed in, you'll see where there's an option for Facebook. So if you tap the blue arrow to the right of Facebook, it's going to let us actually create an event. We're going to go ahead and let this load up. There we go. So what happens is the first time you do this, it's going to ask you for permissions. So it's going to ask, can Switcher Studio access, your timeline? Can it access your friends? Things like that. And it gives you the option to do public or private. Always do public. This is another issue that we see sometimes in the support center. When you do an individual stream, you can make those private or even only me. If you initially do not give all permissions, then when you do want to go and do a public stream, not everyone's going to see it. And you're going to wonder why no one can see it or only friends can see it. So give Switcher Studio the full permissions from the start, and you can limit them later. After that, you get to choose a destination. After you do that the first time, that becomes your default. So you can see here, Dan has selected a private test stream previously. We recommend people start with this because that way only you, when you're logged into your Facebook account, can see the stream. So it's great for demoing your setup, whether you're new or whether you're just in a new location. And you don't have to worry about someone coming on the stream and, basically watching you try to set things up. What we do want to show you guys is if you've selected a destination before and now you want to go live to somewhere else on Facebook, you'll see a gear icon in the top right corner of this event window. When you tap on that, you can choose, there we go, choose new destination. And that way you can choose anywhere else. So any pages you have full admin access to, any groups you're in, or your own timeline. And again, you can do the private test stream. So you can always move to different locations by choosing that. But for your first one, we recommend a private test stream. The other thing I want to bring to you guys' attention is the stream quality option. So, of course, you can choose from one of the 4 qualities on your own just to pick what you think works best. But what we do recommend is tapping the optimized connection for Facebook. What that's going to do is run a speed test based on your current, Wi-Fi or Ethernet setup. So this is great to do before you go live with the amount of devices that are going to be on the network when you go live. And it's going to actually pick what the best quality is for your network at that time. So you're not going to have to worry about lag or dropped frames or anything like that because it's going to optimize it for what your network can hold. And again, you can always shift this up or down based on what you personally prefer. Just know if you pick something above what your network can handle, that might be when you see some of that lag or the drop frames come in. So you can see from here the network that Dan's currently on, is telling him he can do basically whatever he wants. He can go full HD, but he can still choose any other result at that point. The other thing on here is you can add tags so people can search your video and find it easier. You can type in a different tag, especially if you're doing, a talk show or gaming or something. You could type in, Fortnite or something like that, and tag it in that way people can find you easier. Dan's going to do a tag first really quick.
I wonder if that's a
What's your
tag.
studio? We need to make it a tag, Dan. We need to make it a
Make
tag.
it a tag. That's right.
And the other thing you'll see on here is a schedule option. So this is available if you're on a trial and also if you're on the standard plan and the plus plan. It is not available on the essentials plan, but schedule, it's what we did for this broadcast. It's how you guys saw we were going to be live before we were live. You can schedule a broadcast up to 7 days in advance. So it appears on the page or group or timeline that you want it to be on. And that allows people to opt into notifications so they remember you're going live. It lets people, including you, share it to other places so that it's accessible other places. And it's great to use. So that way you can schedule it in, and when it's time to go live, you can go live. And we see Dan here adjusting the date and the time. Once you've got everything set up the way you want, you would just tap the create live stream button at the bottom, and that's
Now,
going to
we are
create
not
this
live
stream.
yet.
Yes,
Not
we are
live
not.
yet.
We're not live. So a lot of people wonder, when they hit that button, are they live immediately? No, this just means you've made the stream, you've locked it in, you're good to go. When you actually want to go live, you're going to tap that red circle in the top right corner of Switcher Studio, and that is what's going to actually send you live. And when you tap that, the red circle is going to turn into a stop button for when you want to stop the stream. It's also going to highlight the live and record, and it's going to show you a timer of how long you've been live. After about 10 to 15 seconds, you're also going to see a circle next to that timer. If it's green, that means your network's holding strong. That means you're getting great results. If you see it start to go to yellow, that means your network's having some trouble catching up. If you see that happen a lot, you might want to choose a lower stream next time. And if it goes red, that means your network has had a failure. That's when a lot of times you would need to start again with another quality. Or if you feel everything's working well, that's when you'd reach out to support with your studio. You'd probably talk to me or Dan, and we would see what's going on for you.
Yeah, the reason I'm not going live right now is I don't want 2 full HD streams at the same time going out. But Yeah, that's the basics. That's the gist. Very easy, very simple to do. You can do it all from the app. There's also a way to do it from the dashboard as well. So yeah, you can again follow this video here. You can also check out our help center, which is on support.switcherstudio.com, is where you can find all that information. You'll find tutorials. We also have a great YouTube channel that our team puts out articles or videos on all the time to help answer questions or and put out tutorials. So yeah, definitely check out those things for more in-depth details on how to do everything. So yeah, looking at some questions, I just see a couple questions come through, but I see that there are a few people watching. So please ask those questions down here, or if there's a specific topic you'd love us to see as part of these videos, we'd love to hear those as well, so we can make those videos. We've been using Switcher since 2014, 2015, somewhere around there, so we know the products very well and are happy to help you. One of these comments you've already answered here with talking about scheduling, Angela. Sierra was asking, can you schedule a Switcher video on Facebook for a later date? And the answer, of course, is yes. You can schedule up to a week in advance, which is great. And then you can come back. So you can schedule multiple. You can schedule, I don't know if there's a limit to how many. But
I think it's one of those things similar to the cross-posting feature where there is a limit, but no one's hit it yet. That doesn't mean we recommend you guys try to hit the limit, but you can schedule multiple at a time. I just like to remind people, because I do see it in our support inbox a lot. Remember, the Essentials plan is the only one without scheduling and without cross-posting. So if you do want those features and you're no longer on your 14-day trial, remember, Standard and Plus are the plans with scheduling. And that goes for YouTube as well. So if you guys are YouTubers, you plan to go live on YouTube, YouTube scheduling is available with Standard and Plus as well.
And then the other question I saw here, which one of our team members hopped in and helped out with, David was asking, is there a particular order to powering up and starting the software on main switcher and then the remote cameras and the DJI Osmo? Man, I tell you, saying the DJI Osmo Mobile I wish they had an easier name. That's so hard for me to say.
I know. It's a tongue twister, and we have to say the whole thing because they have so many products. We have to say the whole one.
Right. But yeah, I would recommend connecting the remote device to the DJI Osmo first, as was outlined in the comment here. You can do that through the DJI app, and then with Switcher Studio, once you open it on that app, to connect it, and then log into your main device. Just the main device needs to be logged in. Every remote camera just needs to have Switcher on it and on the same network, and you're going to be able to use those as cameras. So I see a lot of people when they're first starting out confused why they have to sign in every single time. It's because they're trying to log in on every single device when that's just not necessary. I always like to give the example of, if you're at a spot and you're all set up, ready to go, and someone else has an iPhone, you could be like, hey, download the app and be a camera in my production, be a part of this. And you can do that, and it's very cool. So yeah, the only thing that really matters about the order is your audio, and make sure whatever you plug in as audio is the last thing you plug in, to make sure that is what's heard. So yeah, I think it's Isaac here is asking a question, more of, I guess I would call this a feature request, considering 4 people chat on a second package. Our Plus plan does allow 4 people in the video chat, so you can check that out. We're always innovating and changing Switcher, so I'm not going to make any promises on what's coming next, but there's... please, if you have a request or a thought on what you think, you can email us at support@switcherstudio.com, and we'll make sure that the right people hear those.
And on that note, with the guests, that I always let people know, because a lot of people don't realize this, the limits for each plan of the max number of users is simultaneous for video chat guests. So if you have, 3 people on at once and one goes away, like one's done with their interview, you can then send your video chat link to someone else and bring them in. So we do see people do streams where they have 10, 15 guests. It's just you can't have them all on at the same time, but you can basically, talk show it, schedule it out. Like first we have this person and then this person. So you can still kind of work with it that way. It's just once you hit that limit of these amount of people are connected at once, it's not going to let another join until someone goes away.
I think those are the big comments we have here. I was hoping we get more of them. Angela and I are booked here, ready to answer your all's questions until I think around 2:45. So please.
There is one I'll mention because we just went over the DJI Osmo Mobile. I've seen this a few times already this week.
And Angela, I'll just let you know really quick as you're doing that. People, please ask your comments or your questions in the comments, and I'm just going to go through and search the group because questions are constantly asked there, and we can answer a few of those questions live here as well. But continue, yeah.
We support the DJI Osmo Mobile, models 1, 2, and 3. Of course, the DJI Osmo Mobile 4 was just announced, I want to say Monday, either Monday or Tuesday, and then the following day it was available to order. So we have had people ask, can I use DJI Osmo Mobile 4? The answer is kind of the same as what happened with the 3. Since it was just announced, we do not have the product yet. So we need to get the product tested before we can let you guys know for sure that everything's working 100%. But I know with the earlier models, they did work initially out of the box, basically for users. So what I've been recommending is feel free to purchase the 4. Definitely let us know in the group if you get one, what your experience is with the 4, so that way we know, other people know. If you have issues, we know who to reach out to and kind of get some feedback from you guys. But also if it's a crucial thing, and this is true of any products you buy to use with Switcher Studio, just make sure there's a good return policy, because if you do get it, it doesn't work right away, and you don't just want to hang on to it for a bit. That way you can always return it and get it later. But again, it was just announced and released like 2 days ago. We do have people really excited for it. So feel free to try it. Let us know what you think, and we'll hopefully be able to put out an official statement, in the upcoming weeks or months, letting you guys know officially what happens with the DJI Osmo Mobile 4.
Yeah, that's a great point. Excited to see how those work. Every product that they come out with seems to be a little bit better. For instance, the first one came out. It was really cool that we were able to connect with it. I'm looking off screen because we have one over there. And then the Osmo 2 allowed you to charge your device at the same time, which is really cool. The Osmo 3 just had a really cool clamping arm and made it easy to balance your phone and stuff. So yeah, they're very cool. I see another question here from Isaac asking about the Facebook algorithms and if these videos get prioritized less than if you go live directly through Facebook. And as far as I can tell, I have not seen any difference. One thing I recommend doing is promoting your stream in advance. Like this is something maybe even outside of Switcher Studio that is a great thing to do is make the post beforehand, schedule your live video, maybe tell people to set the reminders, click the button to get a reminder when you go live, or whenever you make updates to that page are things you can do, as well as just create posts around and share those to your timeline, to different groups or pages saying, hey, I'm going to be going live at this time. Here's the topics, all that stuff. For instance, this video we scheduled earlier in this week, and then now we're live. And one other thing I did was about a few hours before we went live here, I just commented in here, said, hey, don't forget everybody that we're going to be going live here, bumping that post back up to the top so people are seeing it in the group and are ready to join.
Yeah. And kind of, touching on what Dan said with that as well, it's always good, whenever you do live video to let people know, sign up for notifications for when you are live, Facebook gets pretty busy for most people. And sometimes, people who follow you will get the notification if you like that you're live if they haven't opted in. And sometimes if they haven't opted in, they don't. And I see it with, the normal Facebook app. I see it with Switcher Studio. So the main way to maintain that engagement is just while you're live, beginning, middle, and end, remind people to tap, to opt in to your video notifications. That way they always know when you're live, and they'll also get a notification that you scheduled a video, so they'll know, to mark on their calendar that you're going to be live on a certain date. So it takes 2 seconds, and it's going to help to maintain that your viewers stay your viewers, and they're not saying, I didn't know you were live. I'm so sorry.
Um, all right, we're getting some comments in here, so I'm loving that.
Yay!
I see Sean asking, is auto follow tracking on the roadmap for Osmo integration with Switcher? Unfortunately, that's not part of the SDK that we're able to get into. So the auto tracking right now is not possible for us to use as a third party taking control of the Osmo. We'd love to do it, and if that becomes available, I'm sure that's something we'll be working towards. But yeah, you can pan, you can tilt, and you can always zoom even without using an Osmo. And then you have all the other camera adjustments as well, such as the focus and color temperatures and exposure, everything that you'd see that's typically there is there ready for you. I see another question here asking, what's the best way to do simulcast with the guest speaker for your Facebook Live using Zoom? I think what we're wondering is what's the best way to get Zoom or Switcher into Zoom, maybe, or vice versa. What I'd recommend is if you're bringing in a guest speaker, just use Switcher Video Chat. Have them come in, and you can bring them. We can run an audio line out, so people in because I think it also says here for our church service. So yeah, you can take your audio out and run it into some speakers so your audience can hear. So I would say just use video chat. If you do need to get Switcher into Zoom or vice versa, we actually have a great article on our help center. Again, let me put that one up. Did I get rid of it? No, yeah. Just search connecting Zoom at support.switcherstudio.com, and you'll find all that information there. Angela, I don't know if you have anything else to talk about, or maybe if you want to. I was looking through some comments, and people were asking about, well, not comments. These are just posts, and the word simulcasting is used there. So if you wouldn't mind, I saw some people asking about Caster and going live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I know we have articles again all about this if you search simulcasting in the user base. But maybe if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So first I'll clear up a quick confusion I see happen a lot, and then I'll go into the process. So we do have a feature called cross posting. That's for Facebook. It's available while you're on the trial and also for the standard plan and plus plan. And what this allows you to do is to go live to simulcast to multiple Facebook pages, just Facebook pages. So we do see people upgrade from essentials to standard and then wonder why they can't simulcast to like Facebook and YouTube. And it's because cross posting is Facebook pages only, not timelines, not group, no other platform. So I do want to say that first and foremost, because we do see that as some confusion. So in the Switcher Studio app, other than cross posting, you can go live to one destination at a time. So what you're going to have to do to simulcast is to go live to what's called a custom RTMP. Now, I won't get into a lot of the jargon with it, but we do have a guide in the Help Center that walks you through this step by step to break it down really easily. What you're going to need to do is to sign up for a third-party service. We recommend caster.io. Switchboard.live is another one we recommend. And those will let you connect multiple streaming platforms at a time. So you can connect Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, LinkedIn, all these other things. And you connect the ones that you want, and there's going to be your RTMP information. Think of it as the address of your caster account. What you're going to do is put that into Switcher Studio So you're going to go live to the custom RTMP channel. At the start of the stream, you saw we showed how to connect to Facebook, but it listed other options, including custom RTMP. So you're still going live to one destination with Switcher, but then from there, Caster is going to shoot that out to your platform. So if you've connected to Facebook and YouTube with Caster, Switcher is going to go live to Caster. And then Caster is going to go live to Facebook and YouTube. So that is how you simulcast. I know, especially if you're just getting started, you might be thinking, "What did she just say?" So again, search custom RTMP in our help center. Just support.switcherstudio.com, and it breaks that all down for you. You can also search simulcasting in there as well, and it's going to walk you through step by step with graphics. It's a lot easier than it sounds. If you have any issues when you're trying to set this up, or if you do think you have it set up and you have some issues, again, write into support@switcherstudio.com. Let us know what third-party service you're using, whether it's Caster or Switchboard. Let us know where you're going to. Let us know where you're getting stuck, basically, and we can help you out from there to make sure that you can get this simulcast going.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for that, Angela. Sorry, I'm reading some comments here as well as they're coming through. And maybe, I don't know if we have team members still in the comments here, but if someone could maybe find that article and just pin it down or comment it down below, that might be helpful as well. Maybe just the Zoom and the RTMP would be good to have in here. Let's see. What were some other good ones here? I see a question asking here. Let me switch out just so people know. Ask us your switcher questions. Is there a chance you could have time transitions, ones that swap automatically after a set period of time? We're looking into it. We're doing some testing with something like that, actually. So I don't have a timeline for when we're going to have that out, but we are looking into doing something like that. At least starting out, maybe just doing the camera switches and having you be able to set a timer on how long those are. Again, don't want to say too much about that because we're still working on it and have some time, but that is something that could be coming.
For any new features, once you guys have signed up initially for, a trial with us, or you've gone to our blog page on our website and opted in your email address to subscribe, anytime we have an app update, we shoot all of our users an email letting them know what's in the update. If there's new features, we go over that. And we also normally, at some point we'll do a quick live stream to show you the features. So again, we don't have an ETA on that. We're still in the early stages of testing, but for that and for any other features, you'll know when it is available so you can make use of it immediately.
So I see Sean has kind of a crazy setup here, but it sounds cool. Asking any way to display just your guest from video chat on a monitor that you put in the shot. So it's almost like if the person who is on a monitor, I've got more room over here, like right here, and you could be like talking to them. I think that would be cool. Something you could try is host your video chat from a different device and run it off of a computer, because their picture will be full screen there. Of course, the delay might be a little more. They'll be able to hear pretty well, but I don't think that the audio would sync up exactly perfect. But it would definitely be something to try out, and could be interesting. So that's definitely something you could do. Isaac was saying, I have an interface mic connected to my computer, and I'm monitoring the audio directly from the iPad/switcher. This setting creates a delay on my voice that makes it difficult for me as a host of the show. How can I fix this? Try disabling your audio monitoring. That will allow you to still be able to hear your guests, but it lets you not hear your audio. Let me do this for you. I'll go 1, 2. So the audio tab down here, you can see it lit up blue. There's audio monitoring. This one's disabled. You can enable it, and then of course just disable it. And if you disable it, it'll stop you from hearing your own voice. So that's a way you can definitely do that. I believe. Am I right there, Angela? Not losing my
Yeah,
mind?
nope, that is correct. Yeah, the frame delay, it definitely makes it hard to talk at the same time if you have that enabled. There's actually some fun YouTube videos of people, not only with Switcher, but with other audio devices, trying to like read stories with that delay. But of course, when you're live, you don't want to have to worry about that. So disabling the audio monitoring is going to make it where you're not, hearing your voice a second later and confusing yourself.
Yeah. Um, Sorry, I scrolled down. I lost my spot here. Douglas was asking, is there an option to import custom animated lower thirds with transparency mode made in other programs? That's kind of an iOS constraint right now that we're working hard to try and figure out how to make that happen. That's right now is not possible with Switcher. So no, you can't like create an After Effects file to have animated images and stuff come in and out, but stuff that we are working towards and wanna have be a part of our a part of Switcher for sure. You do have, and I will show this again. Let me go B, and I will show you from the plus menu. What we do have is our text and graphics options here. We do have some different lower thirds. These will all animate in and out. You've seen me use some of them. Here's just an example, and you can change the font, the title, colors of all of these. So while it's not something you directly create in another program, it is something that you can use to give your live streams a little more flair and character.
And kind of the technical reason for that, because we do have people wonder why, to have, an animated lower third or logo, something out of After Effects maybe, you need what's called an alpha channel. It's just a layer on the screen, and most third-party apps do not have that support with Apple at this time. So it's something we definitely want to see happen. We're trying to figure out a way to make it happen. Right now, you can only import static PNGs for your overlays, so you can't have a static lower third or a static logo or image on the screen. But like Dan showed, you can create the animated ones in the app itself, and they're fully customizable. So you can, get your hex code and make it your company colors. You can change the font. So you can still make it your own, but we'll, again, let you know if and when we can ever let you guys import your own animated lower thirds.
Oh, cool. One more I see come in. I was about to just wrap it up or ask you if there's any common questions you were hearing lately that we could answer. Let me just see this question here. Okay. This is another just basic switcher function question asking, how can I use one of the cameras for sound while I use the iPad as the controller? This again is how Switcher works is we use the audio from the main device. So anything running through the main device is what is going to be heard. So if you need audio from without that, you can plug in an audio mixer or get like a wireless mic works well. If you need to transmit audio from a distance, that's how you're going to do it. We can't switch between the different audio sources on the different cameras. This is just to make sure everything syncs up and works well. Could be something we explore in the future, but right now there's not much of a timeline on when something like that would be available. So, yeah, and then I see one more coming through here asking, I struggle with sound when I try and bring on a guest. There is always an echo. We went through this a little bit earlier, but talking about audio monitoring and turning that off will help get rid of that echo. If that's not it, you can check our help center for some answers there as well. Or email us, and that email is support@switcherstudio.com, and give us an example of what's going on, and we'll be happy to help you troubleshoot that and figure that out. Well, there's like a giant wasp in here flying.
Oh no!
Flying around. Wow, that's fun. Yeah, so Trying to think, Angela, is there any other big questions you have, or things that we could add?
Um, Things that I do see a lot that I don't like seeing, none of us like seeing. We do see, unfortunately, in the support inbox, sometimes people have gone through half their trial or their full trial, or they've even already subscribed and they've had a ton of issues, and they'll write in and be understandably upset that the software is not working as promised. We don't like to see that happen. A lot of times it's a quick fix when something's not right at the start. So we always say, just as we've been encouraging on here, don't be afraid to ask questions. You could think it's probably the easiest question ever and you're afraid to ask it, but ask it anyway. From minute one, if you can't figure something out, write in, especially if you can't find it in the help center, because we want you to have a good experience on your trial. We want you to have a good experience on your subscription. We don't like hearing people say, I've been struggling for 3 months. And we want to
Yeah.
help you out when the issue starts. Another thing to remember, when you do register for a Switcher Studio account, that starts your 14-day trial. So if you know there's a certain range of dates you want to use the trial for, wait and sign up at that time. Sometimes we'll see people sign up and then go to use their trial a month later and it's already saying their account's expired. And we have to reset the trial. So remember, when you do sign up for an email address, it's going to go ahead and start your trial at that time. Probably the last big one I want to remind people of is the trial does have most of the features. It's set up basically as a standard plan, so you guys can look at most of the features and know which of the three plans you need later on. But YouTube streaming is not available by default on a trial. So you
Mm-hmm.
still have access to Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, Microsoft Stream, but not for YouTube. You can do an RTMP for YouTube if you would like. What we also recommend is you can try streaming to somewhere like Facebook or one of the other platforms, see if the software works for what you need, and then all of the plans come with YouTube support. So after you know what you need, you can choose one of the plans and you'll have that full YouTube support. So we do like
Yep.
people to know that so they're not wondering why YouTube's not working. It's not available on a trial at this time, but it is available on all three of the plans.
Yep. Um, Kim, I'll show you again in case you missed it earlier. Let me put this back over here. But for your audio monitoring question, so from the output tab, try this is with it enabled. Try disabling that, and that will stop you from hearing the echo if that's what the issue you were hearing is. If not, in the video chat, because I believe you were saying that, try if you're hosting from another device, what might be happening is your audio is being picked up twice. So your audio is being picked up through the main switcher here, as well as your other, as well as the video chat device. So mute your audio on one of those will also fix it, either from up here on the mute option, or when people are in your room, you can mute them there, and that would fix it. So that's a good way to try, or that's going to fix your echo most of the time. Let me bring Angela back in here, and I appreciate the don't get stung. Yeah, I keep looking up. I don't know where he went, but
He's
it's in here
hiding.
somewhere. Last one's here. I see, will Zoom ever be linked to Switcher? There's actually an article earlier in here on how you can do that. You could or you can send Switcher to Zoom or vice versa, and all that stuff is in there. And yeah, Angela, I don't know. I know it's 2:40. That's about the time we have. I think I saw a couple last ones here quickly. Yeah, I see any plans to add 60 frames per second. I think the reason we don't have 60 frames is the networking constraints and how that will add a lot more. I think also mobile video is a variable frame rate by default, so it would be very difficult to get the constant 60 frames. I don't have the perfect answer for you there. We can check with the engineers and get back to you on that one. And then I saw another one asking about would you be able to add a minus dB to external mics? Because we do have the where you can add decibels, so make them louder. There's a reason we can't, and I don't remember what that is. Again, that might be something we have to ask the dev team and our engineers and get back to you on why that is. But yeah, this is. I hope this was helpful for those of you who were here, and thank you for your questions. We'll be doing more of these more often, so stay tuned and be on the lookout for when our next one is scheduled. We don't plan on doing them at the same time every week. We might start by doing one every other week, and then add more as we get going with these. So yeah, be on the lookout for the next one. This one, of course, is I hope you guys could see it. It's right there. I'm gonna go before I get stung. This is one of those things too. You know, we are live. This is live TV, and you just got, or not live on the internet. You just have to laugh when stuff like that happens because what are you gonna do, right?
You're gonna just that out now.
So yeah, again, thank you all for tuning in. If you have more questions, you can ask them in this group or search this group as a great resource. There's the training modules that you can find here as well that will help you get started. For more information, go to support@switcherstudio.com. We also, of course, have our YouTube page that has tutorials on it. And if all else fails, you can always email us at support.switcherstudio.com, and we will be happy to. Oh, I'm sorry. That's our website. You can email us at that one, support@switcherstudio.com, and Angela, myself, or our whole support team, any of us will be happy to help you. And if we don't know the answer, we will be sure to find that answer and let you know. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys.